When you're scrolling through endless recliner options, the first thing that makes you pause is the fear of ending up with a piece of furniture that looks good on the box, but feels like a compromise once it's in your living room. I get that hesitation, the money you're putting down, the space you're allocating, and the promise of massage and heat that often feels more like marketing fluff than a real benefit. That's why I'm going to walk through what actually matters day to day, so you can decide if this chair fits your routine or if you'd be better off looking elsewhere. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The PU Leather Electric Lift Recliner from KUXGQI sits in a niche that blends comfort, mobility assistance, and a few tech perks. In the broader market, you'll find a range of recliners, basic manual recline sofas, high-end leather models with built-in speakers, and the more niche lift chairs aimed at people who need a little help getting up. What separates the lift chairs from the rest is the dual-motor mechanism that can raise the seat and tilt the back together, giving you a smoother transition from sitting to standing. That's the core value proposition here, and it's something you'll actually feel when you try it. If you've ever struggled to push yourself up from a low couch after a long day, the lift function can feel like a small but noticeable upgrade. The motor is designed to lift the seat a few inches, enough to shift your weight onto your legs without the strain of a sudden pop-up. For seniors, anyone with mild knee issues, or even younger folks who just want a hands-free stand-up, this can reduce that getting up moment from a jolt to a gentle rise. The real test, however, is how quietly and smoothly it operates in a typical living room setting. In practice, the dual motors are fairly silent. You won't hear a loud whine when the chair lifts, which is a plus if you're watching a movie or trying to keep the kids asleep upstairs. The lay-flat infinite position is another claim that sounds impressive on paper. What it means in a real home is you can recline far enough to lie almost completely flat, making it a decent spot for a quick nap or a stretched-out reading session. I've seen people use similar chairs as a makeshift home office seat. You can angle the back just enough to sit upright with a laptop on your lap, while the seat stays level enough to keep your posture from slouching. The infinite aspect is essentially a continuum of positions rather than set steps, so you can fine-tune the angle without hunting for a button that says 30 degrees or 45 degrees. Massage and heat are the headline features that draw many buyers, especially those who are looking for a spa-like experience at home. The chair offers a full-body vibration massage with targeted points, and a heating element that activates on the same control panel. In everyday use, the vibration feels more like a gentle reminder than a deep tissue treatment. It's pleasant for a quick unwind after work, but if you're seeking the kind of intense kneading you'd get from a dedicated massage chair, you'll notice the difference. The heat function is modest. It warms the back area enough to take the chill off a cold evening, but it doesn't turn the entire seat into a heated pad. For someone who just wants a comforting warmth while watching TV, it does the job. For a cold weather aficionado hoping to replace a blanket, it may feel underpowered. 2 cup holders are built into the armrests, and there are USB ports on either side. These little conveniences can actually change how you interact with the chair. I've seen people keep a coffee mug within reach while they are settled into a binge-watch session, and the USB ports are handy for charging a phone or tablet without having to crawl up the side of the couch. In a household where multiple devices are in play, those ports can cut down on tangled cords and keep the remote control within arm's length. The placement is low enough to stay out of the way, but not so low that they become a tripping hazard. Now, let's talk about the practical downsides that often get glossed over. First, the chair's footprint is fairly sizable. The base is wide, and the footrest extends forward when you're in a reclined position. If you're working with a modest living room layout, you'll need to measure carefully before committing. It isn't a piece you can slide under a narrow coffee table without bumping into the side arm. Second, the PU leather, while breathable and easier to clean than genuine leather, can show wear lines over time, especially where the elbows rest. If you're planning to keep the chair for several years, you may notice subtle creasing after a few months of heavy use. Third, The assembly is not a plug-and-play experience. The chair arrives partially pre-built, and you'll need a couple of hours to bolt the frame together, attach the cup,